So I'm watching the news this morning. And
you can still bear to do that?
Not really.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where I just went through this most fascinating process of getting rid of cable and finding out how to do the most economic thing and getting as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went on Hulu, I think Fred the studio dog he's on the couch, but I think he's going to take your seat, and now he's going to kiss you. Because he hasn't seen you in a couple weeks. He's missed a few shows. And he has bad breath. Fred, sit down.
I don't care.
Sit down, Fred.
I have cats that I did not... I've had cats that have had dental cleanings before, but I've never had cats that going to need to have probably extractions.
No.
You know, because... cats like people, some have stronger teeth than others and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there is some breath happening there that
Ooh, yeah. Well, he's notorious for stealing, like, where you want to be. He'll take your spot. It's just...
that's how they are. That's what they do. That's what little fur babies do.
They're entitled. Very entitled. So I turned on, and what was funny about it is I was kind of... I found a channel that I don't necessarily live on, and I just was like, okay, just had it on the background. And then they said, well, this naked guy in Florida, and I came running around the corner, and hilariously, Colleen, of all stations, it was Fox News Channel, and they played this video from a surveillance thing, so it's black and white. This guy is butt naked, and they had it, blurred. He's comes onto a yacht, and he's covered in tattoos, and he's built like you would not believe. I mean, he kind of reminds you of like a Jason Momoa type.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, I mean, big, studly, not a stitch on. He jumps onto this yacht, and he's looking around. He's doing total thief walk. You know, like, look at me. I'm suspicious, right? Goes up, steals their American flag, and then takes off. Butt naked. I have no idea what he was doing.
This sounds obviously. You said, "Guy, you didn't say this kid," so it didn't really have sort of like a college prank thing to it. The guy was too built, too muscly.
Yeah, he was in his 30s. I would guess.
So
yeah,
because it sounds exactly like some sort of prank.
Or he was hammered, and it was a dare.
Yeah, a dare. Yeah, this is hold my beer. This was obviously nothing was. I mean, yes. Something was stolen.
Yes.
But nobody was hurt.
No.
Nobody's face was eaten off. No. Nobody, there was nothing. There was no,
Right. Okay, but can I just tell you the best part, I think even better than seeing that bod, was when they went back to the hosts and they're sitting there like their eyes are kind of big. And the oldest one of the three, it's a guy, he goes, I don't think we've ever shown video like that here. And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm going to go with the producer of the show that day. Just was fed up with everything. Who knows? And decided, you know what? We're running this today. Yeah. Needed some sort of, just break in the real stupid for stupid that we used to be normal. Because that would have been sort of fun.
It was actually one of the more entertaining things I've seen on morning news.
Yeah, I figured I finally got I think I told you that, I've had no cable for quite a while, and I'm just doing, internet stuff. Thank God for broadband. But I finally got a antenna. So, I was flipping around the channels and that, and I was like, honestly, I hadn't missed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I've been missing?
Yeah. Okay. So
as usual, we just start off with like randomness, because earlier we were talking about my beautiful new driveway.
Which is fantastic. Yes. And congratulations.
But it has nothing to do with either sexual health, sex toys, or I don't know, just or the stuff that or the new newest study on some sort of position.
And I've got some.
You do?
Actually, different studies, but yes.
We have studies. Okay, so we'll get to the sex part of the sex cast. Yeah. I mean, versus just naked Florida guy.
Well, naked Florida guy. Can I just tell you though, what's really hysterical? They said, like, in the actual news part of it, they were like, well, I mean, because you could see his face. The problem was, even with the package blurred out, I wasn't looking at his face. I was like, oh yeah, he's never going to get caught because nobody's looking at the face.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Hello.
I'm back.
Hello.
University of Kansas. Now, this is interesting.
Was the Jayhawks? Hawks?
Yeah.
Birds? Yeah.
The Jayhawks. Nicely
How
done.
do okay, there's a million things I want to remember, and I have no contact with
You're
University
not a
of Kansas.
college basketball
Somehow, this is in my head. This is how prevalent sports are that my brain knows this shit. Okay, sorry.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So they did, they have this event every year to kick off the basketball season. They call it Late Night at the Fog. And it's the Allen Fieldhouse where they do this.
Oh,
and
yeah, when you can have your first official practice and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's
once again, information that I don't know why I have.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
They've been doing this for 35 years, and it started out as a scrimmage to celebrate the start of basketball practices, and it's turned into skits, music, and entertainment. So this year, Snoop Dogg came. Okay. And they were supposed to do a cleaner version of the show that he did, which was it was Snoop. Let's just start there.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Okay.
Okay. But then they had stripper poles and girls in R-rated wear, and they were shooting $100 bills over the tops of the audience and athletes that had Snoop's face on them. Fake $100 bills, of course. People absolutely loved it. But
somebody's clutching some pearls.
Right. Well, the athletic director, Jeff Long, said, I take full responsibility for not thoroughly vetting the details of the performance. I offer my apology to those who are offended, which I'm sure it's just, people that say, well, I pay taxes for, blah, 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 or parents maybe. But they're also dealing with some pretty high-level NCAA infractions with regard to their recruiting, so they really kind of didn't need that. But I'm sorry, how stupid do you have to be? It's Snoop Dogg. Do I actually kind of like him?
Oh my God, I feel bad that I've only seen clips of he and Martha Stewart's show because it's on a channel I can't get.
Is it hilarious?
And it is the most amazing thing in the entire world. And then I've seen clips when the two of them been like on Ellen. Mm-hmm. They are buds.
That is fantastic.
That is one of the most.
What channel is it on? Do you know?
God, I have no idea what.
Okay, I got it.
But I just could not. It was all behind a paywall, and the station that was on. I'm like, there's nothing else I want to watch on this.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my God, I'm hoping one of these days if someone picks up these shows because I will, where I can get to them. So
what's it? Do you know what it's about?
It's just the two of them doing lifestyle stuff together. Doing the cooking. It's just
that's fantastic.
One of the most. I feel bad that I don't know what this is because this woman is almost 80 now.
Is she really?
Yeah. Snoop is. Yeah, she's in her 70s. Yeah.
Well, and he's not young.
No, he's in his 50s. I'm sure he's around my age.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny stuff right there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. I didn't know it turned into a real show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So I have a story about polyamorous life here because I find them occasionally, and I'm kind of fascinated. And I don't judge it. It's not that, but it's just really hard for me to get my head around it. And polyamory, it's multiple romantic partners, consensual, and everybody knows about it, right? And most people go, hey, that's a recipe for jealousy and mistrust. And sure, that can happen. But the people that are committed to it and stay with it say, no, this is the best thing I've ever done.
If your brain is wired that way, I can see that. I'm not a jealous person, but I don't like to share. I mean, those are separate things. I'm not good at sharing. I don't want to share my meal. I don't like sharing my house. Stuff like that. I am not good at sharing. I never have been. I just, it's going through there. So it would be very difficult for my brain to share my guy or to be part of someone else being, stuff like that. It's like, nah.
Yeah. I'm pretty good with I like living with my husband and all of that kind of stuff. And I'll share the food. I will not share him.
Yeah.
I just, nope. So, but yeah, a couple people, I've got some snippets from a few people telling why it works for them. And a librarian of all things, she said, you know what? One partner might be vocally affectionate, but not as physically. And then you can get one that's more vocally and not, back and forth. I mean, and she said, find the right combination that meets your needs. Another guy, Daniel Saint, was married for most of his 20s, and he and his wife had a don't ask, don't tell kind of understanding, but then the wife started wanting to know what he was up to, and the relationship fell apart. So then the next thing he did was he was looking for a relationship with a man and a woman. So they've got, two guys and a gal, and they're all super, super happy. And then we've got another gal who talks about 2 or 3 long-term committed partnerships at once, as well as casual connections across the country. And, she's like, it's self-care, man. I get to experience like the security and the excitement.
Yeah. Now I have a few friends that have been in long-term, relationships, and like this, and it works for them. They're very happy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Are you getting nuzzled?
Yes, right in the right hip.
Oh, awesome. Okay. As long as he's not being inappropriate.
No. I think he's going after his paw, but his nose just keeps nudging my hip.
Okay.
What is it doing?
Well, as long as he doesn't freak you out, we're good.
I like the pupsters.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like all about happiness, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that it's not. I'm always there's a consent and an equality here that you don't see in, let's say, different relationships that people always freak out about. Yeah. Like Mormons and multiple wives and stuff like that. Because this way, it's, both the men and the women have an equal say in how many partners they're going to have and what's going on.
Yep.
Because you don't see in a lot of other places, like a woman with 4 husbands.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's going through there. So it's like I said, I think one of the people's folks could like that is that there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of equality, and maybe we could definitely use more of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, pivoting to the sexual health
pivot
portion of the program, I thought we should talk about female discharge today.
Squirting or excess vaginal discharge during your period, or the fact that the mucus gets thicker when you're ovulating on some women? What do we got?
Well, you pretty much did the story for us, but no, I brought it up because you crack me up because all this stuff. But I think it's true. I found this article and it's funny. I mean, it's true. There's certain things we just don't talk about. It's like, hey,
women are moist. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. But I liked this article because they're like, hey, here's the deal. The vagina is like a self-cleaning oven. Yes.
Which is why you don't put garlic in it. Or jade eggs.
Or really anything. And really, I don't know what. Douching is not a good deal.
Nope.
It's really not. So, this is an article that takes a really, as non-gross as it can be, but people asked a bunch of questions and these MDs answered. So
spectacular, because there still seems to be this mystery about something that happens to over half the population on the planet.
Right.
Sort of like Australia a few shows ago, you were talking about they, aired a commercials about
that showed blood.
That actually showed blood, and people were like, no, that happens. There's blood involved. Deal.
Yeah. So there's some questions that I think a lot of women have or have had at some point in their life. So I thought we could run through them. Okay. And you'll probably know the answers.
We'll see.
But the first question was, is it supposed to smell like this? And the doctor said, it's supposed to smell like your body does. So sometimes it changes. Musky, sometimes sweet, depending on what's going on. But if it smells really different out of nowhere, then that's when you should consult a doctor.
Yep. Because you shouldn't. I know what I smell. I know what my underarm. I know what I smell like. Most people know, but like, oh, something's off.
Yep. And colors. They're like, well, a lot of people's change throughout their cycle, but if you see yellow, green, or gray, you might have an infection, so you should go to the gynecologist. Okay. Consistency, just like you said, it changes. So that shouldn't freak you out. How much? There's really nothing normal.
Yeah, each person's going to be different.
Yeah.
Do they talk about like a yeast infection in there?
Not really.
Yes, yeah, because that,
Not really.
I mean, when people say you can look like cottage cheese, that's some that's when you go see, go see your doctor because you want to take care of that.
Yep. And discharge during sex, they're like, that's a good thing. That means you've got the right lubrication going on, which we know that in certain life cycles, women have challenges with that. So, and the hormone levels dictate at certain times of the month, which is why you will see it sometimes and maybe not. And if your underwear's ever changed color, that's normal too because it's acidic. So if you've had some changes, it's just the pH shifts. And at the end of the day, the doctors just said, get over it. And if you do wear liners every day, that increases the amount of discharge that your body makes.
Got to think about that for a moment.
They don't say why, though.
See, that's...
Bless you, Fred. Bless you,
easy.
Studio dog. You poor little man. Bless you. You got a little allergy attack?
Maybe it's the extra, like, for lack of a better word, I'll say irritation.
Yeah.
It's going through there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fred's having a sneeze attack, poor buddy.
Is it the beautiful fall leaves?
I think so. He's got allergies, and so, yeah. I should have put this at the front of the story, but my Florida yacht hopping naked man, I just had to talk about it first. We now go to Pennsylvania. Police said a homeowner went downstairs to investigate the sound of singing coming from the first floor of his home to find a naked man drinking milk in his kitchen. He heard the singing around 3 a.m., grabbed his pistol, headed down the stairs to find the man sitting on his kitchen floor. He called police. Thankfully, he didn't shoot. That's good. The intruder was arrested, charged with criminal trespass. The police have not commented officially, but they did say that he did appear to be under the influence of an undisclosed substance.
So went into the wrong house. Good. At least this person was not killed.
Yeah.
No, I heard some really weird sounds in my house the other day. And I'm there. I'm like, what? And I thought about it, and I went downstairs and looked around, and then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. So I got the cat treats, and I crinkled the package, and the cats came running, and the one cat came running up from downstairs after there was more noise, and I realized that dumb little shit was in the drop ceiling and walking around on the ductwork.
How do you get in there?
I have only like 3/4 of my basement is finished, and the spot with the laundry and all the furnace and all that is still open to the rafters.
Exploring.
And so that little shit, I'm like, yeah, no. So she had gone up there, and she likes to sit on the ductwork by the furnace.
Well, I can see that.
And of course, her weight's making noise on the metal. I'm like,
well, that's scary.
Yeah,
though.
I'm like, I was like 99% sure that's what it was, which is why I grabbed the cat treats and crinkled the bag, and there was a noise, and then there was a thud, and then there was running up the stairs, and I'm like, yeah.
That's funny. Okay, this is weird, but kind of interesting. There's a bar in Missouri that it's right in the area of St. Louis, which St. Louis is in the news more than once this show. But they're trying something. The bar is called Open Concept, and instead of charging by the drink, they're charging by the hour. Okay, so
I saw this.
Did you?
And I read the article.
What'd you think?
Several times, because I kept looking at it, going, "Is this an Onion article?" Because there is nothing about this that sounds safe. No. But I'll let you go to the outfit.
Well, no, basically, I mean, you book appointments, and they have different package prices, and then you pay, that way. Yeah.
So it's like it's like an open bar. How much you can shove in for a certain amount of time?
Which, how is that ever a good idea?
No. I've been to weddings with open bars for like a set amount of time.
Yeah.
That ain't not good.
No.
Oh.
Which is why my parents, when I got married the first time, they just did a whole open bar. That was one thing.
Yeah.
They didn't want people to drink too fast.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which I kind of appreciated. Okay, the title of this article made me laugh so hard. It's called Fucking Farmers.
Okay. Is this farmers.com? I want a farmer. Is this the
No.
Okay.
No, and God, they were advertising so much the dating site for rural or whatever. I haven't seen an ad from them. I don't even know.
I don't know if they still exist or
just for farmers.com or something. Yeah. No, this is a study that sex toy company Lilo, they do some fun stuff.
Yeah. I think I can still get the products on our website, but they hit a price point where it just sort of stopped here, so we don't carry them in the stores anymore.
Yeah. By the way, I'm mesmerized by your nail color. It's so cool. So I keep staring at it. It's like so nice.
Honestly, it matches the little phone.
I know. On the microphone.
On the micro, yeah.
It's kind of humorous. Okay, so Lilo did a study according to sex habits according to profession. How is this not fun? Right? So the research.
Are they trying to get into Cosmo for fuck's sake? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, why not? I mean, 33% of farmers get laid at least once a day. And this is more than doctors, architects, lawyers, and hairdressers. Not only did farmers top the list of professions having most sex, they also rated themselves the highest in the bedrooms. 67% of farmers claim to be incredible in the bedroom, compared to just 63% of doctors, 43% of architects, and 40% of journalists.
Okay, these are folks that work 24/7, 365. So, well,
in the winter though, they're off.
No. There's stuff to repair if they have barn animals or stuff like that. You're still, just because it's winter, you don't get to not get up at 3:00 and take care of stuff. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe you get up at 3:00. You're like, no, okay, the cows are taken care of. Now what? Okay.
Okay, but here's the thing that makes me laugh really hard.
Okay.
Lawyers are the hardest to please in the bedroom. 27% of those surveyed admitted to faking an orgasm every time they have sex. But my favorite, 31% claim to be able to identify when their partner is faking. Why is that hilarious?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, they're overthinking things. They're lawyers. I don't know. There is a way. I thought about law school for years ago, just for the thought process of it. I don't think I would have ever practiced or attempted to go for.
I think you could. I did
but
too.
I was not. But I didn't have the academic skills at the time to do it.
Okay.
I
actually think your brain would really love that because you have that sort of multi-directional thinking that could really be good. I wanted to go too. And quite honestly, I still might. Just because I think it'd be just crazy. And I would never practice either. But I love it. But anyway, so they said laborers and farmers claim both 69% of laborers, 67% of farmers claim they never fake, which I don't know, I guess. So professions that have the most sex ranked in orders: farmers, architect, hairdresser, advertising, and lawyers and teachers. So there you go. Yeah. There's a group in Rhode Island, which makes me laugh because they're so tiny, but they're trying to set the world record for the biggest ever bra chain. So the previous record, and this, of course, is all trying to promote breast cancer awareness.
Okay, you said, bra,
as in brassiere, yes. The previous record was 166,625 set in Australia back in 2009. So these guys are trying to...
Wait. They're bra chain, like tying bras together. Like sort of like the twine ball we have in Minnesota, but this would be bras.
200,000 is the goal. And this is a place where they are going to put out bras that they've been collecting. They've got bras signed by celebrities like John Cusack, Kiefer Sutherland, and Hulk Hogan.
A little bit ago, John Cusack was in town here in Minneapolis. I think there was a showing of Say Anything, and then he asked questions about it and stuff like that.
Really?
And you could do like a meet and greet, and a friend had a ticket, and I was really close to getting it.
That?
And he was going through there, and then it occurred to me, I have this little picture in my head of who this person is, and I didn't want to screw up that thing, that picture I have in my head. Never met your heroes or whatever it is, or something like that. Whatever it is, I just said no. I like the fact that he's going out. I mean, he's got he's done a zillion movies. He probably has more cash than he needs, but and he always seemed to be sort of aloof. But now, he's going out and doing meet and greets and talking about films he made 25 years ago.
I would love to meet him.
And
my God.
Yeah. So I could, because I saw when a friend posted that there was a ticket available within like a minute of her posting it. I could, and I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm an idiot? What if this person is a nice star? Like I said, I have this little picture in my head and I decided to keep it intact.
Well, and that's fine. He's literally, I know he's not, Robert De Niro, but he is one of my favorite actors because he's done some movies that are excruciatingly funny. And then he did like Gross Point Blank or whatever. But one of the funniest movies I think he did, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's he and this uptight girl riding across country for Christmas.
Is that The Sure Thing?
The Sure Thing.
Yeah.
That is a funny.
Yeah, and he's only in his late teens, early 20s when he's doing it.
Yeah. Do you remember how hilarious that was, though? I loved that movie. That was cute.
Yeah.
Sexual goal setting.
Okay.
So we're going to move from Lilo to Cal Exotics now.
We just got a whole bunch of new stuff in from them.
Really? Anything great?
Well, there's a. I was hoping to get one, but they haven't gotten to the box yet. There's a masturbator. It's a ball. It honestly looks like a little tiny Death Star that you put your dick in.
Nice.
Yeah, it's round and it rotates and it looks pretty. Like I said, I don't. They haven't gotten to the box. There were like 6 pallets of stuff that was delivered, and but I was just fascinated. And there was this really cool sort of purple swirly. It was pink sparkly swirly vibrator, and then there's a couple of things. But the other day I walked in because I saw like the sample and I looked at it and said, "Hey, you can put your. It's not a Death Star. It's it's nothing to, but it's round and it's black, and you take off these 2 round things at the end, and there's some little silicone fingers, and it goes round and round your dick. Awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, it looks like a Death Star. I obviously can't market it that way, but that's the first thing I saw when my eyeballs looked at it. So soon,
are you a Star Wars junkie?
I've only seen the original 3 films.
Really?
And I've seen bits and pieces of some of the other ones, not all the way through. I have friends that have actually won cosplay costumes stuff all over the world. They do such a brilliant job. And the last Star Wars celebration that was in Chicago, I happened to be in Chicago at the same time, and I got passes, and I walked around with them, and I was just amazed. I was like, it was a whole universe and a world that I knew nothing about, but everybody that was there was just thrilled. Yeah. It was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and they were just, and I'm like, I'm not going to harsh anybody's squee.
No, it's
to use an old term.
It's a hobby, man, and it's if that's how they decompress and enjoy themselves, have fun. But they did some research. Cal Exotics show that 93% of people who claim to have incredible sex lives say they set goals with their partners. Only 42% who answered boring or non-existent, they set their goals. So what they're saying is they set different goals, like things to do with their relationship and their sex life, as well as money, health, and fitness. So 44% of people set goals for the bedroom, like having sex more often, trying new positions. 49% set goals like sharing more, being more truthful and reliable. 79% of people who love their sex life set financial goals.
Yeah. Because you see, what does all this have in common?
Communication. Colleen's favorite.
Yeah. Really, California Exotic is a spectacular company. We just got a whole bunch of new stuff in from them. California has some very strict environmental laws, and all of their products don't have to be, and I shouldn't say many, the vast majority of the products don't have to be marked for that in California because they're made so well and don't have the stuff in it. And when I go through once or twice a year, the very few things that we ever get back that are non-functioning or that we pull our nose, there's so few of them. I mean, it really is. It's a woman-run company, has been for years, and I really like their stuff. And generally, their packaging is really good. We're getting in a new sort of bondage line, which I have to admit I was a little surprised by the packaging because it's reminiscent of a little bit of 50 Shades. Woman in lingerie, guy in a suit, and I'm like, which I don't particularly. Most of their packaging is really gender neutral.
Okay.
So but I do know that if Tara brought it in, she was really impressed with the quality and what price point we could put it out as.
Yep.
So that I just saw that on the tables. That'll be going out next week.
Yeah.
Different things. And like I said, it caught my eye because I'm like, that's normally not how the company does some stuff. But then again, folks are still sort of. I mean, it's not the big thing. I mean, we've had stories about people are trying desperately. Like, do not give us any more 50 Shades books, but it still piques people's interest.
For sure.
So I can see why they went with that packaging.
Absolutely. This next one surprised the hell out of me.
Okay.
This is weird. I mean, and I
like some good weird.
Well,
or is this weird?
No.
Not funny
well,
weird.
I don't know. Let me tell you what it is. Have you ever seen the movie Hocus Pocus?
I've never seen it, but I know that it has Kathy Najimy. I can't pronounce her last name.
Najimy.
Yeah, and then Jessica
Midler.
Parker and Bette Midler, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is this article written, a candid first person article that was written by a woman that says she finds the film to be sexually titillating. Now, it's popping up like when I go into Hulu or different things.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because it's Halloween time.
It's Halloween, yeah. Bette Midler loves to post old pictures on social media and different things and stuff like that. She gets a kick out of the film. I don't see so much from Sarah or Kathy, but Bette Midler loves this film, and she's all over it in October, posting old stills and different things. And she finds a fun meme of it. She'll share that.
Yep. She's like, she says in her article, as a child, I related strongly to the wise beyond her years character of Danny, played by Thora Birch. And as an adult, I'm aroused by the idea of three witches trying to steal her youth. Really? She said there are moments in the film that leave her in a state of total wetness. Of all things, isn't this a Disney?
I don't know. There are a lot of different things that can make you horny. If this is going to be it, it's certainly a safe and entertaining one. Like I said, now I'm curious. I might have to watch the film and see if there's anything about it that is erotic. But I just see comedy because both these women have time. All three of these women and other folks have amazing timing.
Yeah. Well, in reaction to the article, one Twitter user said, "Hocus Pocus is a wildly horny film." Really?
Oh my God! I'm going to be looking at all these memes that Miss Midler.
I got to watch it now.
Yeah.
I got to see. Okay, so I mentioned St. Louis, who is basically, there's a bar there called Open Concept, which is pretty much, I don't know, encouraging binge drinking by charging by the hour versus by the drink. And you'll be perhaps weirded out to know that St. Louis holds the top spot in chlamydia and gonorrhea. And it's at an all-time high there across the United States.
It is fascinating, especially for diseases that can take years to show symptoms, can really mess with your fertility. So you really do need to be checked. And it's only going to go up because a lot of clinics are closing down. I mean, they're just, cutting funding a lot of stuff. And so you need to be, you go into the doctor and someone, and if they're brave enough to say, would you like some STD testing? Do it. Even if you've, because like I said, some of the stuff can take a long, long time to show any symptoms, or it could be dormant. You may not even know you have it.
Right.
And if they don't ask.
Yeah.
They're already sucking a crap ton of blood out of you.
Yeah.
And might as well just throw on those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're talking about the fact that, people aren't getting checked, just exactly what you said. But this is a freaky one here. Congenital syphilis, which is syphilis passed from a mother to a baby during pregnancy, can lead to miscarriage, stillbirth, newborn death, and severe lifelong physical and neurological problems. So you've got to get checked for this.
Yeah, even blindness.
Blindness,
Yeah, just going through there. And with the lack of prenatal care, folks may not even know they have it.
That's true. And
so they can't do anything about it. Yeah.
Well, and it's syphilis also, I don't know, there's a Law and Order, I think it's an SVU episode, that is one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen, which they do a pretty good job of
they're like, what, in their 20th year now or something like that?
Yeah.
The first couple of shows I sort of watched, and then I realized since they were, I mean, it's still TV, but it still was like, you know what? There's too much angst here. It was not, it was some of the stuff honestly was too real. And I'm like, that's not how I relax. Yeah.
Well, one thing I really have appreciated about the show is that they take things that are happening in the actual news and then they take you inside and you get to see kind of the law enforcement side of it and then the court and the side of it. So I'm kind of a buff of that sort of thing. But they had an episode, Colleen, that was, I mean, it was awesome because it showed how horrible syphilis can be, and it was this crazy murderer, whatever. Well, he wasn't a crazy guy. He had syphilis that went undetected.
Oh yeah, it chews up your brain,
and it left his brain like Swiss cheese. But the way that, and see, this is why that show is so dang good. They had tested it, and his life insurance company knew about it, but buried it, didn't report it. So the end of the show was the executives of that company getting indicted for the crimes that he committed because they could have prevented it. It was fascinating.
I wonder if that actually works that way. I probably could. That
if you watched it, you would believe it. So I don't know.
Well, one of the things about syphilis, and it is difficult too, is that for decades, I think 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, the U.S. actually let a whole bunch of African-American men were tested for syphilis, but were not told. They just ran this experiment on them. So there was a lot of, it's a horrible, horrible thing. I'll have to look it up and send it to Megan so you can look it up. But there's a lot of distrust sometimes in certain communities because of how it was going.
That's bad. Yeah.
So it has come to light. I'm not, and I believe I'm not sure whether or not there was any restitution or any acknowledgement, to these men's families and the stuff's going through because I was like, it's horrible.
That's awful. Well, this next article, we're going to post this so that you can read it yourself on the Great Northern Sex Cows Facebook page. Sophie Turner, I'm fascinated with her. She's a Game of Thrones actress. She played Sansa.
Okay.
And she's super funny. Quotes from her in articles are just.
Is that the youngest female?
No.
Okay.
No, that was the Arya character. That was Maisie Williams.
Okay.
Sophie Turner played Sansa, the tall redhead.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And she kind of parodies Instagram influencers. So you got to read the article and then you got to look at it. But basically, she's upset with people promoting unhealthy products on social media. Gwyneth Paltrow. She went to Instagram and she put a filtered video of herself that enhanced her cheeks and made her lips bigger. And she pretended to be an influencer. And she said, today I just wanted to promote this new powdered stuff that you put in your teeth. And basically it makes you shit your brains out. And it's totally really, really bad for me to be promoting to young women and young people. But I don't give a fuck because I'm getting paid money. Influencer life. So she's like making fun of it, and
she is. She was big. I think I saw her in costume or doing something like that. And there was like a little clip of like a sword fight with the youngest, with that other character.
Yeah,
and they were just. I'm like, oh, that was fascinating.
No, she seems like a super cool person, and good for her. And she's trying to call attention to it. So
I honestly it's only been a few months now that I've actually heard the word influencer used the way that it is. And I just went and I so I was reading this article and I'm like, these people have like hundreds of thousands and sometimes over millions of followers. And I'm just like, and they have no qualifications other than the fact that they're really good at social media, which I guess is a qualification, but
yeah. They make $1,000. They depending on what they're doing, they can make $1,000 per 100,000 followers for an ad.
Is that one of the reasons, like Instagram's thinking about getting rid of likes, just to sort of pull
That's
that?
Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
Is thinking about no, I don't think so. But Instagram did put some pretty gnarly stuff in there about 18, the ages and some rules.
Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same.
True.
Stuff like that.
Well, I don't know, but I only read the Facebook aspect, so I'm not sure. But just something to kind of watch because
I'm fascinated with this. I was like, well, who is it? I'm just poking around and I'm looking at it and I think it's just because we haven't grown up with it, so we're not wired to these things like younger folks are is different. And it's just, it's just really strange. I suppose it's the same thing as like maybe our parents trusting someone who could put a bigger ad in the yellow pages.
Yeah.
Think about,
No, it's weirder than that, actually, because to put an ad in the yellow pages, that's a commitment. The business had to put money out.
Yeah.
And it had to be a business. These influencers go out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I saw something about like someone just saying, screw you, influencers. They're not going to, I'm not giving away my work for free. People are asking, I think, some pushback on this to where like, why am I going to give you my product for free?
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I follow some folks, but mainly for entertainment purposes. Just because this person X talks about something that if they don't have any qualifications about, let's say a set of knives or a car or a pair of pants, where do they have, I understand that a chef could get paid to endorse a line of knives, but of course that chef, if they're stupid knives, he's going to look like an ass. Right. Because he's sort of, but these people have no qualifications. I'm a little confused about
The only time I ever sort of, followed, or was influenced. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if it was possible, it's so weird, to do keratin treatments to your hair, which is AKA a Brazilian blowout, which is expensive and extremely time consuming. I wanted to see if it was possible to do. So I went on in YouTube and I found a few videos and I watched them, but I found this girl and she's maybe in her 20s, early 20s. Probably I think she's out in California somewhere. She's Latina and has this amazing hair. And I watched her video. It made total sense. I actually bought the product and I've done it myself like 4 times and she was hilarious. She's such a Valley girl, but she knew what she was talking about and she had this crazy hair and she was totally right. But I vetted her against other people's opinions.
Oh, okay.
And I had them done professionally. It seemed viable to me.
But you had some information to begin with, too,
I
because
did.
you had done it. And so
did.
you could see, it's going through
But
there.
she literally taught me how to do it. And I'm like, I love it. And she didn't get anything from anybody, but great video though. Loved it.
Yeah. My daughter loves watching some of the makeup ones.
Yeah.
Because she really just like that. But she has a hard time actually finding folks that have her skin tone. So she does.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's going different things, but it's just and because I was watching, I said, "How does this work?" She goes, I poke around until she finds someone that, to some extent, already sort of makes it seems comfortable. You know what I mean? You did say going through there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that just because someone has 750,000 followers that I would trust them.
I don't even know how many she had.
Yeah.
But I loved the way she talked about it. She talked about it. She knew what she was doing and whatever. I loved it. It was fun. But okay, in other news, Planned Parenthood has built a clinic in secret. It is in southern Illinois, very close to 15 miles, in fact, from Missouri's sole remaining abortion clinic. So this is a mega clinic that they're building in order to give people access.
Yeah, they went out. I saw this. They've lost a lot of funding because they refused to lie and withhold information. And so they built this clinic within very close to the borders of Missouri and other states that where female, care for women is under attack.
Yep.
So this is close, as close as they could get.
Yep. Yeah. And so just thought I'd mention that. Okay, this is really interesting. This is from Science Daily magazine, and it's talks about a study that was originally published in the International Journal of Cancer. And this is very interesting. This was the first long-term cohort study of more than 36,000 men over decades that happen to be Japanese men. And this study suggests an association between eating mushrooms and a lower risk of prostate cancer. So anyway, it's a long, very scientific
No, just regular mushrooms, not like not like the magic mushrooms or anything like that.
Yes.
Okay, no psychedelics here.
No. And there's a quote in here that says, considering that the average American consumes less than 5 grams of mushrooms per day, which is lower than that consumed by the participants in the study, which is 7.6. So it's not a huge difference. I mean, just upping the number of mushrooms, even a small increase in mushroom consumption offers these potential health benefits. So guys, eat mushrooms. There's no downside to it, and they're good. I put them in everything. I love mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of. I know I love them, but
okay, I love them.
But most of the folks that I cook for do not like them.
It's a texture thing, probably.
Yeah, that doesn't like mushy foods.
Oh God, I love mushrooms.
Oh yeah, they're just so delicious.
Oh, have you ever had? Because I have never had a morel.
I've had them when I've been in a fancy restaurant. They've been in some things, and they really do have a very rich taste. But then a lot of times there might be cream in that thing too. But I mean, honestly, there isn't too many mushrooms that you can't throw in a dish.
No.
I mean, one of my favorite is like spinach, and I don't do cheese anymore, so just mushrooms and spinach and wild rice and hollandaise.
Oof.
It's so delicious.
Yeah. I make a mean spinach and mushroom omelet, and with goat cheese. Oh,
yeah, I could do goat cheese.
Can you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll talk food next time too.
Sounds good.
Have a good week.
Okay, bye.